In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on October 6, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Cleveland Browns versus Washington Commanders. The Cleveland Browns travel to Landover, Maryland, this Sunday for an afternoon matchup against the Washington Commanders. Cleveland, currently sitting at 1-3 straight up and 1-3 against the spread, suffered their second consecutive loss last weekend, falling to the Las Vegas Raiders 20-16. On the other hand, Washington has been surging, posting a 3-1 straight up and against the spread record. The Commanders have climbed to the top of the National Football Conference East thanks to a 3-game win streak, punctuated by a dominant 42-14 victory over the Arizona Cardinals in their last outing. The Washington Commanders are eager to continue their red-hot start to the 2024 NFL season when they host the Browns this Sunday. Few people predicted such a strong performance from Washington before the season began, but their offense has been electrifying. Leading the charge is rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels, the number 2 overall draft pick, who has been playing at an elite level. Drawing comparisons to Houston Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud's stellar rookie year in 2023, Daniels has amassed 897 passing yards, 218 rushing yards, and 7 total touchdowns in just 4 games. Thanks to his leadership, Washington has notched 3 straight wins and put up 38 and 42 points in their last 2 games. On the other side of the field, the Browns are struggling. Quarterback Deshaun Watson appears to be past his prime, and many are now calling his contract one of the worst in sports history. Cleveland's 1-3 record is reflective of their poor play, and they seem to be heading nowhere fast. Although star running back Nick Chubb is nearing a return, he won't be available this week, and his absence won't fix the larger issues plaguing the Browns. Watson has been unable to elevate the offense on his own, and his receivers have provided little help, with none of them surpassing 200 receiving yards through the first 4 games. The Browns have now suffered back-to-back losses, first to the New York Giants and most recently to a Raiders team missing key players like Devontae Adams and Max Crosby. Through the first month of the season, Cleveland's offense has ranked among the worst in the league, compounded by injuries along the offensive line. Meanwhile, Washington, riding the momentum of 3 consecutive wins, will have the advantage of playing at home in front of an energized fan base after spending 3 of their first 4 games on the road. With Jayden Daniels leading a high-octane offense, it's hard to see how anyone could be optimistic about Cleveland's chances. Therefore, the Washington Commanders to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Despite Cleveland's poor offensive performance, I believe their defense is due for a resurgence. Last year, they boasted one of the top defensive units in the league, but so far in 2024, they have underachieved. If the Browns can contain Washington's running game, it could significantly disrupt the Commanders' ability to sustain drives. The Browns' defensive struggles this year have largely stemmed from missed tackles, a correctable issue with better focus. On offense, Cleveland has been far too inconsistent to expect a high-scoring game. While they may show slight improvement from recent weeks, their injury-riddled offensive line, including the absence of guard Wyatt Teller, will make it tough to produce consistently. Deshaun Watson has playmakers around him, but the offense still needs more time to gel, especially with Nick Chubb sidelined and Watson's own rust lingering. Last season's matchup between these 2 teams saw a total of 34 points scored, easily hitting the under on a 40.5-point total. With the Browns' offensive struggles continuing into this season, the current total for this game feels high. Although Washington's offense has picked up speed in recent weeks, scoring nearly 40 points on their own last game, it's unlikely they'll repeat that performance against a Cleveland defense that should be making adjustments. The Browns' offense, on the other hand, has gotten progressively worse, and Deshaun Watson's continued decline isn't helping matters. His lack of confidence and durability are becoming more apparent with each game. Deshaun Watson, once an elite quarterback, is now a shell of his former self. With Nick Chubb out and the rest of the offense failing to step up, Cleveland has put up a mere 15, 16, 17, and 18 points in their first 4 games, all against average defenses. Even against a Washington defense that's far from elite, it's clear that the Browns' offense offensive ceiling is quite low. The only bright spot for Cleveland is their defense, which has been respectable enough to keep games somewhat competitive. The Browns are allowing the 8th fewest yards per pass attempt and rank in the top half of the league in sacks, led by Myles Garrett's 4 sacks out of the team's total of 11. While Washington's Jaden Daniels has been sensational so far, he's still a rookie and some regression could be looming. However, with Washington riding high on momentum and the Browns' offense unable to keep pace, Cleveland is unlikely to improve significantly in this matchup. The combination of a lackluster Browns offense and a respectable Cleveland defense points to a low-scoring affair. Washington's games have generally trended toward high-scoring affairs, but Cleveland's penchant for playing to the under makes this a tricky total to bet on. Given the Browns' offensive woes, it's hard to justify betting on the over with a total in the mid-40s. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Las Vegas Raiders versus Denver Broncos. The Las Vegas Raiders and Denver Broncos are gearing up for a key American Football Conference West Division clash on Sunday afternoon at Empower Field at Mile High, located in Denver, Colorado. Both teams enter this game with identical 2-2 records. The Raiders secured their second victory last week with a narrow 20-16 win over the Cleveland Browns at home in Las Vegas. Meanwhile, the Broncos also improved to 2-2 after winning 2 consecutive games, including a hard-fought 10-9 victory over the New York Jets in New York last Sunday. In recent weeks, the Broncos have found success by leaning on a balanced strategy under rookie quarterback Nix. They've prioritized their stout defense, protected the football, and made the most of short, safe plays to move the ball and score points. As a result, despite having one of the less potent offenses in the NFL, Denver has managed to string together back-to-back wins. On the other hand, the Raiders have struggled offensively, especially with their running game. Adding to their challenges, star wide receiver Davante Adams is expected to miss his second consecutive game due to a hamstring injury and his recent trade request. Without Adams, the Raiders' passing attack is further weakened, giving Denver's all-pro cornerback Pat Surtain the freedom to be deployed in various roles on defense, possibly matching up against possession receiver Jacoby Meyers or tight end Brock Bowers. This versatility gives the Broncos' defense a considerable edge. Additionally, the Broncos will likely focus on exploiting the Raiders' vulnerable rushing defense, which ranks 30th in the league. Expect to see Denver rely heavily on quarterback Nix and running back Javon Williams to establish a strong ground game, opening up opportunities for easy completions for Nix. While it's unlikely the Broncos will dominate in a blowout, their plan to control the ball, capitalize on red zone chances, and take advantage of the Raiders' mistakes, especially with Las Vegas ranking 28th in turnover margin, could lead them to victory. The Raiders have had the Broncos' number in recent matchups, winning the last 8 contests, including a 27-14 victory last season. In that game, with Adams sidelined, the Raiders shifted their offensive strategy towards the run game, which ultimately paid off, though not in a dominant fashion. However, the ongoing situation with Adams, who has requested a trade, continues to create tension in the locker room and will likely remain a distraction until resolved. Additionally, the Raiders are facing multiple injury concerns, including the uncertain status of defensive standout Max Crosby, adding to their woes. In contrast, the Broncos seem to be gaining confidence, particularly with Nix coming off a victory in which he threw for just 60 yards but secured his first touchdown, and a much-needed boost in self-assurance. With the Raiders' defense struggling and dealing with key injuries, Nix could capitalize on a weakened opponent. The Broncos are relatively healthy and boast one of the league's top defenses, further tilting the scales in their favor. The Denver Broncos have spent 3 of their first 4 games on the road and have performed surprisingly well despite the tough schedule. It will be intriguing to see if they can continue their momentum now that they return home, where expectations are rising. As mentioned, Denver's defense is one of the best in the NFL, while the Raiders' defense has been anything but. Las Vegas has been inconsistent, struggling to stop opposing offenses, and their run game has been ineffective. With the possibility of missing both Max Crosby and Davante Adams again this week, the Raiders face an uphill battle. Although Denver is under some added pressure to perform with eyes now on them, their defense should keep them in control against a banged-up Raiders team that isn't playing much defense. This could be the perfect opportunity for the Broncos to end their losing streak against their division rivals. So the Denver Broncos to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Last year's contest between these two teams produced 41 points, hitting the over on a 37.5-point total. However, this year's game doesn't promise much excitement from an offensive perspective. The Raiders' most dangerous weapon, Davante Adams, is out of the lineup for the second week in a row, and without him, their offense lacks explosiveness. Quarterback Gardner Minshew, while serviceable, isn't an elite talent, and his top target now is a rookie. The Raiders' offense, already struggling, will likely find it tough to move the ball against a Broncos defense that ranks second in the league in yards allowed. On the flip side, Denver's offense is young and inexperienced. Nix has shown glimpses of promise but is still very much learning the ropes. Without elite playmakers and facing the intensity of this rivalry for the first time, Nix may start off cautiously. Historically, games between these two teams have hit the under in 5 of the last 10 meetings, and this season's matchups suggest a similar trend could continue. Denver's offense is built to control the game's tempo and grind out wins, and they've done just that over the past 2 weeks, allowing a mere 16 points combined in those 2 victories. In their last 3 games, the Broncos have given up fewer than 10 points per game on average, while the Raiders, without Adams, have struggled to put points on the board. Las Vegas' season high in scoring is just 26 points, and they often sabotage themselves with turnovers. Don't expect many explosive plays on Sunday, as both offenses will likely rely on long drives to score, making time of possession crucial. Despite the relatively low total, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Arizona Cardinals versus San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers will play host to the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday afternoon in a key National Football Conference West showdown. The Cardinals have been one of the season's pleasant surprises, but after suffering a loss last week, they'll be eager to return to the win column. For the 49ers, expectations were sky-high entering the season, but early injuries have slowed their progress, causing them to stumble out of the gate. Nevertheless, the 49ers have swept the Cardinals in their divisional matchups over the past 2 seasons, and being at home this time around, they will look to establish dominance against their divisional rival. The 49ers have been performing at an elite level this season, averaging a remarkable 26 points per game while holding their opponents to just 20.5 points, underscoring the strength of their defense. They rank second in the NFL with an average of 413 total yards per game and are 9th in total yards allowed at only 295.3 yards, showcasing their well-rounded capabilities on both sides of the ball. Additionally, they average an impressive 6.3 yards per play, placing them 3rd in the league, while also leading the NFL in offensive efficiency with a conversion rate of 57.71%. These statistics illustrate just how dominant the 49ers are, and with their roster getting healthier, they are expected to give the Cardinals a tough challenge in this crucial divisional clash. On the other hand, the Arizona Cardinals have been struggling this season. They average 24 points per game, placing them 13th in the NFL, while their defense is giving up an alarming 26.5 points per game, which ranks 29th in the league. Their passing game has been particularly ineffective, as they rank 25th in the league with only 179.8 passing yards per game. Overall, their offense ranks a disappointing 22nd in total efficiency, which pales in comparison to the powerhouse 49ers. Although the Cardinals have a strong running game, ranking 5th in rushing yards with 153.3 per game, their one-dimensional offensive approach is unlikely to hold up against a formidable team like the 49ers, making them clear underdogs in this matchup. Since 2023, the Cardinals have struggled in divisional matchups, compiling a disappointing 2-5 record against the spread. They have also failed to cover the spread in their last 2 games against the Detroit Lions and Washington Commanders, highlighting their continued struggles against the spread. In contrast, the 49ers are slowly regaining key players from injury, and their full potential is evident when their roster is at full strength. The Cardinals, by contrast, have looked unimpressive on both sides of the ball over the past 2 weeks, and their offense has been one-dimensional within an effective passing game. San Francisco's talented and physical defense should dominate Arizona's offense, especially considering the Cardinals have allowed 30-plus points in 2 of their first 4 games and have struggled to stop the run. The 49ers have won 4 straight games against the Cardinals, covering double-digit spreads in all of those victories. While the spread may not be as large this time, the San Francisco 49ers to win and cover the spread as favorites are full game side pick. The Cardinals' defense has been atrocious, and it's hard to see how they'll be able to stop a 49ers offense that averages 413.3 yards per game, which ranks second in the NFL. Arizona's defense, by comparison, is giving up 26.5 points per game, which places them near the bottom of the league at 29th overall. While the 49ers have had some red zone issues, scoring touchdowns on just 50% of their trips, Arizona's defense has allowed opponents to score touchdowns on 68.8% of their red zone drives, ranking 25th in the league. Given the Cardinals' defensive struggles, it seems unlikely they will be able to slow down San Francisco's high-powered offense on Sunday. Despite Arizona's defensive woes, there's hope that quarterback Kyler Murray can get their offense back on track. Tight end Trey McBride is expected to return after missing Week 3 with a concussion, and his presence could be crucial as he had a breakout performance against the 49ers last season, catching 10 passes for 102 yards. If San Francisco star linebacker Fred Warner isn't at full health, McBride could be in for another big game. Additionally, the 49ers haven't faced a mobile quarterback this season, having gone up against more traditional pocket passers like Aaron Rodgers and Matt Stafford. With San Francisco's linebacking core and secondary potentially banged up, safety Talanoa Hufanga is questionable. Murray's mobility could cause problems for the 49ers defense. The over has hit in 6 of the team's combined 8 games this season, and 4 of the last 5 meetings between the 49ers and Cardinals in San Francisco have also gone over the posted total. The weather forecast predicts temperatures exceeding 90 degrees at kickoff, which could lead to fatigue and mistakes, particularly on defense, as the game progresses. The 49ers have consistently exceeded expectations this season, with 3 of their 4 games going over the total, including both of their home contests. In divisional matchups since 2023, the 49ers boast a 6-1 record for games finishing over the total, and their last 2 outings have comfortably cleared the over mark. The Cardinals have followed a similar trend, with 3 of their 4 games this season going over the posted total, driven largely by their defensive deficiencies. Given both teams' tendencies for high-scoring affairs, the over is the standout pick for this divisional clash, with both the 49ers and Cardinals showing a pattern of offensive potency and a history of high-scoring games. Betting on the over is a solid double-play wager. Therefore, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.